When people talk about Citroën cars with high-drop pneumatic suspension, the GSA isn't exactly the star of collectors' dreams. Often ridiculed for its design, which looks hastily cobbled together, this awkward heir to the original GS doesn't have the refinement of its predecessor. Designed as a transitional car to keep fans and dealers waiting until the arrival of the BX, it has always carried an unfair reputation as an old man's car. This stubborn cliché, like a stain on a vinyl seat, still sticks to its bumper in some circles. Yet more than 45 years after its launch, it's high time to do justice to this little-known family car. With its impressive technical specifications and outstanding road qualities, the GSA deserves better than the dusty oblivion to which some have relegated it. So today, let's take a look back at its history. In the 1990s, the Citroën GSA was only good for scrapping or being used as a trade-in for a brand new Opel Astra or Ford Escort. At the time, the average driver swore only by perceived quality. The GSA, with its quirks, its somewhat light finish, and its very unique style, seemed to come from another galaxy. Too singular, too different. It was the perfect target for mockery, and yet people were wrong. In 1979, the family car market was a ruthless battlefield. New models flooded in, while competitors like the Peugeot 305 and Renault 18 modernized the segment with flair. Honestly, those two were just facelifts of outdated platforms. The Renault 18, with its rigid rear axle and suspension that made it feel like it was dancing the samba in the corners, entertained fans of folklore more than driving enthusiasts. The GS from 1970 was aging. Its design, despite a facelift in 1977, seemed rooted in the 1960s, a bygone era. But today we have to admit that the GS reveals a timeless beauty. Its thin body pillars, which let in plenty of light, its refined aerodynamics, a drag coefficient of 0.32 on the X3 version, an achievement for the time, and its typically Citroën details. Features like the single-spoke steering wheel, semi-enclosed rear wheel, and rear bumper integrated into the trunk impress knowledgeable enthusiasts. Technically, the GS was a little marvel for a car barely 4 meters long. Hydra pneumatic suspension, 4-disc brakes, with the front ones being inboard like on a race car, and a front axle with a pivot on the axis. Honestly, who did better? But it wasn't perfect. The biggest criticism you could make was the lack of a hatchback. In the early 1980s, that was nearly a crime for a family car. The GSA corrected this with a fifth door, a life-saving addition for families and practical people. In terms of style, the exterior facelift was completed without any low-budget tinkering. Black plastic bumpers and almost all the chrome was gone, except for the hubcaps on the Palace versions until 1981, and an overall silhouette that looked a bit heavier. Inside, it's a different story. The dashboard, once light and simple, gives way to a futuristic, almost tortured design, as if the designers wanted to turn their backs on the carefree spirit of the post-war boom years, to dive into a somewhat naive science fiction, but with real ergonomic thinking. This dashboard, let's talk about it. Goodbye to classic gauges, hello to CX style scales, set into a stylized outline of the car surrounded by indicator lights. The idea is to alert the driver in case of a mechanical problem. The satellite controls that replace traditional stalks are pure Citroën, confusing at first but brilliant once you get used to them. Their logic and practicality only become apparent with use, as is often the case with the brand's inventions. Regulars will find their way for the rest. The central handle for the handbrake, the radio placed anywhere, and the lever to adjust the suspension height, a signature feature inseparable from Hydra pneumatics. This is Citroën at its best, strange, bold, and irresistible. When it comes to driving, the GSA is a pure marvel. Its flat 4-cylinder air-cooled engine with its inimitable purr gives the car a unique personality. Add to that the Hydra pneumatic suspension, and you get a family car that glides over rough roads like a magic carpet. In corners, it enables incredible speeds for its era. In complete serenity, the driver and passengers feel like they're traveling in a parallel dimension, far from the ordinary cars of other manufacturers. Whether it's in the rain, on winding roads, or in the mud, it remains unfazed. It's a driving experience you won't find anywhere else. A blend of supernatural comfort and handling that makes the competition look ridiculous. But, because there's always a but, the engine is its weak point. This reliable 4-cylinder, while clever, tops out at 65 horsepower. Compared to an Alfa Romeo Alpha Suit, which actually shares a similar philosophy, it's honestly pretty weak. Between the comfort and this lack of power, all of that probably contributed to the image of a retiree's car that sticks to its bodywork. An unfair cliche spread by those who never took the time to drive it. Because believe me, just a few miles on a small country road with patched up pavement are enough to understand what the GSA is really made of. With proper maintenance and the right tires, it offers a rare driving pleasure worthy of the greatest Citroëns. And let's be serious, who needs 200 horsepower when the chassis is this brilliant? Today, while the DS, SM, and even the first GS models are reaching stratospheric prices that are out of reach for many collectors, the GSA is still almost a bargain. For a few thousand euros, you can get yourself a well-maintained example, a real Citroën. The last family car from the Michelin era. Is it ugly? That's subjective. Some think it's hideous. Others find a raw, uncompromising beauty. But the GSA is above all a car for free spirits. Those who don't care about trends or snap judgments. It's an ode to ingenuity, a kick against today's standardized cars designed under the yoke of the almighty dollar. Marketing. Take the wheel, ignore the mockers, and you'll discover a living machine that just asks for a little open-mindedness. The GSA, produced from 1979 to 1986, sold about 576,757 units, an honorable figure, but lower than the GS, which had exceeded 1 million units. If you're looking for a GSA today, why not go for the X3 version, with its 1.3L engine and 65 horsepower? Or maybe its wagon version. Released in 1982, it was especially popular at the time for its versatility and very spacious trunk. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you have any memories with the GS or the GSA. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos.